This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and I are going to take a look at a couple of issues that affect each and every one of us or our families. I'm Mark Alyn. Welcome to Late Night Health. I hope everybody is well, safe, and that you're using social distancing as we begin, 3 months almost of quarantine? And hopefully we're toward the end of it. Here in Ventura County, where Daryl and I live, we're starting to open up a little bit. But I have to tell you, I personally would almost kill for a haircut. We're going to go to Los Angeles for our first part of our show. We're going to visit with Sarah Ordover. Sarah is a senior living expert and dementia care specialist. We're going to talk about the difficulties in putting your family in assisted living, and especially now with COVID-19. Sarah, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you so much for having me, Mark. I appreciate it.
One of the hardest things I've ever done is moving my mother from assisted living, which she wanted to go into, by the way, and moving her into more advanced care. I'd already taken her car away. She was not happy with that. She wanted to go into assisted living. She didn't want to shop. She didn't want to cook. And she said it was time. And she went in, I think she was about 77 years old. And she was in assisted living for 2.5 to 3 years before she broke her hip. And of course, that was one.
Of course it is. It's an incredibly fraught situation for everybody involved. But of course, a lot of it depends on the parent's situation. If somebody is really in need of care, while it's a difficult thing to pack up the family home and to help, your mom or dad make that decision to move, on the other hand, it can give someone a lot of peace of mind to know that they're being taken care of, that their parent is safe and being taken care of. I mean, I have a lot of clients who have been living on pins and needles for years, just waiting for some calamity to occur. And finally, they can go out and have a drink and have dinner and not have to worry that they're going to get some phone call in the middle of the night.
In my mom's case, she wanted to go. She didn't want to shop. She didn't want to cook. She was done with that. But moving her into more advanced care was harder. Taking her car away, all of those kinds of independent living situations are difficult. Even having a caregiver with her 24/7 was also hard. Now with COVID-19, and I think you've given us some statistics that 20%, almost 20% of assisted living facilities in the LA area have some kind of outbreak of COVID. And I think that's anywhere from 5 cases or more is considered an outbreak?
I think we've got two different situations there. I think that where your parents were living and your mom was living, I don't know the specific of it, but it sounds like she was in a continuing care community where you start in independent living and then you actually move to another building when you need assistance, and that she needed the 24-hour private care. Most assisted livings don't have somebody sitting next to you 24-hour private care, and that is very intrusive for a lot of older adults. That's why a lot of them don't like having caregivers coming into their home, because they don't want somebody sitting there being their jailer. It feels like you've got somebody watching you all the time. And a good assisted living community has caregivers on call. Somebody can press a buzzer and the caregiver comes, but they're not next to you all the time. As to the statistics about COVID in Los Angeles assisted living, actually that 24% it's about 440 people out of more than 20,000 living in assisted living. So the actual number is quite low compared to nursing homes, and a lot of times the two of them are lumped together. about 56% of nursing homes have a COVID outbreak, and the county is calling an outbreak when there is one person. So any community or property that has one outbreak, one person has an outbreak. So nursing homes, it's about 56% of them. Assisted livings, it's around 23, 24% of them. It's a much lower number. I mean, any number is terrible, but really,
Absolutely.
when you think there are 20,000
is that
people
number, do you know if that number is nationwide about?
I have a study done by a company, an organization called NIC, and they do data analytics on senior housing. And not every state or every county is reporting the numbers. That's one of the problems, or they're not reporting them all in the same way. I have numbers from May 20th, and of the top 19 markets that reported numbers. And of that, it showed that, of assisted living, overall, it was in 25% of assisted livings overall in these top 19 markets. And for nursing homes, it was 52%, in 52% of nursing homes.
Wow. Is it better to keep somebody in their own home and have a caregiver?
That's a really difficult question. Not necessarily. Every circumstance is individual. I mean, first off, getting a caregiver into the home is hugely expensive. And when you have a caregiver in the home, it still doesn't mean that it's manageable. I have a client, for instance, who had a stroke. He's 89 years old. His wife is 85. And his whole right side is paralyzed, and they live in a 2-story house. Now, it doesn't matter if she has a caregiver in the house. There's no way she's able to care for a big man who's had a stroke and needs help doing everything. Or I have another client whose mom has dementia, and they work. And so they can't take care of their mother during the day, and she needs to be observed 24/7. So there are situations where it's just not safe for somebody to stay at home, and it is safer for them to move to an assisted living community. I mean, remember, only 440 beds out of 20,000, 440 individuals out of 20,000 are showing, are positive for COVID. So for the most part, it is a safe option.
As a senior living expert, you help a family make decisions, am I correct, on whether they should stay at home, go to assisted living, maybe more advanced care. Isn't that what you do?
Right, yes. So I have a free service to families. I'm a senior living expert. I know every assisted living, memory care, and independent living in Los Angeles. And I actually have a counterpart in Ventura County who's fantastic. And it's our job to sit down with families, help them evaluate their options, look at what they should do, whether in-home care could be a solution or not, and also just to help them navigate the whole system. We get no education about aging. When you have a baby, there are tons of books and it's celebrated, but when you get old, nobody talks about it. And it's like being thrown into the deep end of the pool without a life preserver. So people find it useful just to have someone like me or my partner, Angeli, to be able to sit down and talk to about what's going on in a practical way and help them figure out what their possible routes are.
I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do when you get older? You've got another 55 years to go, so...
Thank you very much. I wish that was the case. I actually have a great community picked out for myself. I mean, one of the advantages that I have is that I see them all and I know how they operate and I know what's good and bad about them and what kind of populations they have and what their specialization is, how their food is, whether they're watching MSNBC or Fox, So
Right.
I actually have identified. I have no problem giving up the material life. I think it's more important to have community.
But at the same time, none of us want to be a burden to our kids. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We're talking with Sarah Ordover. She is a senior living expert and dementia care specialist. We'll be back as Late Night Health continues. There's a lot of talk all over the internet about the remarkable benefits of Carbon-60, and baby boomers are especially excited about it. Greska's Carbon-60 is the premium Carbon-60, developed by an aerospace and NASA scientist. 95% of Greska's customers report positive results from this Nobel Prize-winning technology in just 4 days. Imagine more energy, better health, and more vitality. It's very bioavailable to quickly mend toxin-crippled cells. This is a super powerful antioxidant. Bob Greska is so confident that you'll love his Carbon-60, he wants to send you a bottle at 50% off the regular price to see how life-changing this will be for you. Call 720-600-6040. That's 720-600-6040. Visit c-60.com to learn more. Call 720-600-6040 now or visit c-60.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Join us at facebook.com/Late Night Health Radio. And you can also listen to us on podcasts such as iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and many, many more. You can find out more by going to latenighthealth.com. Our guest is Sarah Ordover. She is a senior living expert and dementia care specialist. She works with families just like yours to help you make decisions on what to do with aging parents. I ended our last segment by saying none of us want to be a burden to our kids. I've decided I'm going to be a burden to Daryl, but that's I guess, completely different.
We've got a tool shed over here that we'll decorate up for you.
Got it. And put me in the wheelchair, right?
Wheelbarrow.
Sorry. Gotcha. We have to do something about this. America is aging and graying. What should we do, Sarah?
It is a huge problem, isn't it? Back in the old country, everybody lived together. Families all lived together in the same town, and so there was much more of a communal lifestyle of taking care of older people. We don't have that here. Our population is fluid. People are living on their own, and everybody's working. It's not like that there are the women staying home and taking care of the family anymore. So there need to be solutions. I hope and pray that our legislators are looking at how to deal with the impending gray tsunami that's going to hit us as the baby boomers age, because it's going to be a huge problem, and there aren't enough children to take care of all of us people who are getting old.
And I have to tell you that the aging of the legislators will be the only thing that makes them move, because they're going to wonder, what the hell am I going to do? And that's when something will happen. It's a terrible thing.
They've got money. That's the big thing. If you're fortunate enough to have some savings, to have owned a home, to have a pension, to have long-term care insurance or veterans benefits, you've lucked out. You can afford to go to an assisted living because those are primarily private pay. If you're a low-income individual, you're dependent on Medicaid, or what here in California is Medi-Cal. And Medi-Cal is primarily a medical benefit that underwrites living in a nursing home. And frankly, who wants to live in a nursing home? About 70% of older adults that need to live in some kind of long-term care facility, 70% of those living in nursing homes are Medi-Cal recipients.
Wow. That's it. And some of those facilities, frankly, are just not up to snuff. They're just not up to par.
Well, they're just, it's a for-profit. Nursing homes are for-profit organizations, and some of them are better run than others.
And I guess if we're going to have your website on our website, so that if people want to contact you, and do you have a website?
Sure, my website's www.assistedlivinglocatorsla.com. assistedlivinglocatorsla.com. We'll have that up on our website, and if you need help, you can always get hold of Sarah and find out what the options are. Right. I'm happy to talk to, just so you know, Mark, I'm happy to talk to anybody who calls me. I feel like it's a real gift that I can be there for people, and this isn't just a career for me, it's sort of a mission. And I truly feel in my heart the difficulty of the decisions that people go through when they're hit with this kind of a tough choice.
I've got an idea. We're going to run Sarah Ordover for state legislature, and you'll make changes. That's the plan. The quality of care. At one point, my mother, years before she went into assisted living, and the assisted living she had, in addition to 3 meals a day, the facility she was at had, they had game night, they had movie night, they had activities. Not that she participated in them, mind you, but they were available. Nursing homes is a bed and 3 meals a day. Isn't that just about it?
So I'm going to give you some definitions. I think where your mom was living would be considered an independent living situation. So independent living is where people go when they don't want to do their laundry anymore, they don't want to cook anymore, they want somebody to do their housekeeping for them, they want to be in community. They live in some kind of community where they get all of those services and their activities. They have the opportunity to make friends. They have outings to different, to the opera, to the casino, whatever it may be. Assisted living is the next step. Assisted living is exactly the same as independent living, except assisted living is licensed by the state. Independent living is not. There's no caregiving going on. Assisted living is licensed by the state and offers all the same services of independent living, but assisted living has caregivers on site. So if somebody needs help with their activities of daily life, if they need help getting dressed in the morning, if they need help showering, if they need help with their medications, if they need help toileting, if they need help walking, all of those services are provided by caregivers that are employees of the assisted living property. So you have independent living, you have assisted living, you have memory care places. Those can either be wings of assisted living or stand alone, and those are people, once again, all of the same services are provided, and in addition, they're specialists in dealing with people with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. And then you have nursing homes. And nursing homes generally provide the same services as assisted living and memory care. It's really that they're in a medical setting instead of a residential setting. In an assisted living, it's more like you're living in a hotel. In a nursing home, you're living in a medical environment. And once again, that's because Medicaid is the primary funder of long-term care nursing homes, and Medicaid is a subsidy for seniors, a low-income medical subsidy.
I know that the cost of assisted living and independent living can be $10,000, $15,000 a month, and which is astronomical. I don't know many people who can afford $150,000 plus a year for living expenses.
Well, you're looking at the fanciest places, Mark. We'd all love to go to those. There are some very nice assisted living places starting at about $3,000 a month. And that's for your basic services. So if you go to a larger community instead of a little 6-bed house, if you go to a larger community, your base rent includes your rent, utilities, housekeeping, meals, activities, and 24-hour monitoring. That's your base rent. And that can start at $3,000 a month. And then care is on top of that if you should need additional care, like you should need help getting dressed in the morning or somebody to assist you showering or somebody to give you medication. That would be an additional charge. Once again, just added on to the base rent.
Sarah, we're out of time. I really appreciate your spending some time and sharing this information. If you have questions, you can go to assistedlivinglocatorsla.com. That's assistedlivinglocatorsla.com. We'll also have that on our website and some more information about Sarah. Sarah, thank you very much. Look forward to talking to you again as we age. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We'll be back as Late Night Health continues. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.